Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Triggerpoint Guide. My name is Nick, and in this video we're going to be covering the first day, which is the anterior portion, aka the front side of the body, the tibialis anterior, which is the shins, the quads, the abdominals, specifically the front abs, as well as the pecs, neck, jaw, face, and then finally a lunge corrective at the end. So let's get started with the tibialis anterior. You can always start every trigger point off with guasa, dry brushing, or Theragun, just more superficial treatment. So guasa for the tibialis anterior would look like this. We have our shin bone, and then we have the side of the muscle, which is called the peroneal. So everything in between that is the tibialis anterior. It's going to look like this. Basically use oil. I'm not using it here, but you should. All the way down to the ankle. Very firmly. 30 to 50 plus strokes. You can go more. And then just pick a different lane. And just initiate that line of pain. And keep going. Rinse and repeat. Both sides. Gua-sha should only take a minute to 2 minutes each side. You can do it. You don't have to do it. But it is recommended. It is very helpful. It also kind of helps relieve a lot of that skin tension. So that's guasa. Theragun, very self-explanatory. Turn it on. Scan for those dull, achy pains. Once you find that really nasty pain spot, hold it. And that will be a nice way to prep. But we can just get started. I'm going to time it for about 1 to 2 minutes each side. But I want you guys to pause the video and go longer. This is just an explanation video, not as much as a follow along. This is to teach you so you can learn, so you can understand it and learn it and apply it, most importantly. So with the tibialis anterior, you're going to want to use a softball or a larger softball, and or a lacrosse ball works just fine as well. Firm foam roller works pretty well, but let's get started with the softball. Softball is my favorite because you can pretty much take it anywhere and you can do virtually everything on the entire body. It's very portable, very light. And you can kind of see I'm just resting into it. There's not much to it. It's very simple. Scan, find those dull, achy hot spots. And then find different angles. Relax the foot as well and go deep. Sink into it. We're going to go for another minute and then we're going to do the other side. But again, I want you guys to pause the video and then go for at least 3 to 5 minutes each side. Once you find that dull, achy hot spot, I want you to hold it and then do some micro movements. Find different angles, go deeper. That pain should radiate. Go outside. Go down. Again, if the spot that you're on is just really bad and it's not relieving, stick with it. Find different angles until the pain subsides, and then you can go somewhere else. But go deep to the bone. Don't shortchange your results. Be with the pain. You got to be with your pain. You can't ignore it. You can't fix it unless you go through the pain. There's a famous psychologist from Stanford that talks about this. All right, that's been about a minute. I'm going to go to the other side. Again, pause the video. Go to 3 to 5 minutes each side. Excuse me. All right, so I found where it's tender. Again, you can do guasa or Theragun before this, or you can just jump right in. Not a big deal. Oh, man. I like the guasa and the Theragun because it allows you to hit a more broad area, create some circulation and drainage, which is what we all need. Relieve some skin tension, of course, and some superficial fascial tension. But the trigger pointing is for specific hot spots. We use that initial tool, like the guasa, to expose and scan and find those dirty hot spots that are very tender. And then we simply just use our tool to go deeper, our trigger point tool, like our softball. Once we find that hot spot, then we localize it with our trigger point tool. We're going to go another 30 seconds or so, and then I'm going to have you guys, hold it again for 3 to 5 minutes each side. Breathe, relax, try not to tense anything else up while you're doing this. It's very easy to get carried away. It's 10 more seconds. Again, you should go all the way down to the ankle. I just find most of my hot spots are up top, but it's pretty tender down here as well. All right, we'll say that's about 3 to 5 minutes. Again, pause the video, go longer. All right, so we're gonna start with the quadriceps now. The quadriceps, you can start with your gua sha as well. That'll look like this. With oil, of course. Make sure you're relaxed. I prefer to do it standing and just go 30 to 100 strokes here, 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 anywhere you can think of, pretty much the entire quadricep, the entire front thigh. You can use the Theragun. I think gua sha is better to start with, finish at. And then we got the firm foam roller, the softball, if you're on the go, a bigger softball. And then we got my favorite, which is, the barbell's my favorite. The main two hot spots you're gonna hit are gonna be the lower middle quad and the upper outer 45 quad. Those are the two main hot spots. Anywhere in between is fine as well. Sometimes up here is really gnarly, here, anywhere. Again, as you become your own trigger point specialist, you'll figure it out. Firm roller, firm foam roller works fine. Softball, but I'm telling you, the barbell is the best. Now with the barbell, you can lay on with both legs. Start at the bottom. Make sure I'm in the camera. Lay on it with both legs. Start at the bottom. Right in the middle. And just sink into it. You can go more in the inner portion, middle. You can try to go on the outer with both legs, but you're definitely going to have to switch to one leg if you go more in the outer. And you kind of just do that, or you just lay all the way down, just sink into it. It doesn't take much to get deep with the barbell, I'm telling you. So you can just literally just start with both legs like this, 5 to 10 minutes, hold here, and then we're going to go up top near the middle upper 3/4 portion of the quad. So we'll say we just did this for 3 to 5 minutes, pause the video, keep going, explore different angles, or just hold that one hot spot that you found. But I'm telling you, exploring the outer portion as well. That middle portion is going to be pretty knotted up. You can see it's kind of bumping around there for me. And then we're going to go up, explore, get that upper portion. You can start on the upper outer 45 quad, one leg at a time, or you can go both legs at a time. Sink into it. You can even go into a plank. But I think one leg at a time on the upper portion is going to be better because it's pretty thick. It's going to take a lot of work to get in there. All right, so that's that. 3 to 5 minutes each side. Again, you can do the bottom for like 3 minutes, and then you can go up to the top, 3 minutes each side. That'll be, roughly 9 minutes or something like that. All right, so now we're gonna hit the abdominals. I'm gonna take my shirt off because I want you to see what I'm hitting. Softball or a bigger softball is fine. You can use a barbell that's elevated or a kettlebell. We're gonna start with the upper abs. These are gonna be your main hot spots. So like the quads, we had the lower and the upper. Same thing with the abs. Upper and then lower abs as well, which is basically the psoas, it's called. Belly button, 1/2 inch over, 1/2 inch down. You're going to place that ball there. You're going to lay on it. And you're going to practice some breathing drills. Let's start for about a minute, but let's start with the upper abs first. We're going to go for roughly 3 to 5 minutes each side, or you can go 5 to 10 minutes each side. We want the total abdominal trigger pointing to be roughly 5 to 10 minutes each side, but I do like to split them up a little bit. So I like to do 2 to 3 minutes for the upper abs, 2 to 3 minutes for the lower abs, and then everything in between if you need. So I'm on the upper abs. I'm getting a nice stretch. I'm stretching my saran suit, aka fascia, my body suit, like saran wrap. And I'm pulling the slack out of my fascia, so to speak, by lifting my shoulders forward and up. And then I'm going to breathe into the ball, going deep. All right? Micro movements, you can go down a little bit if you're not really getting it, but sink into the ball. Let's go for another 30 seconds, and then we will switch sides. Again, pause the video, 3 to 5 minutes each side. All right, I'm on my right abs, upper abs. If the upper abs aren't getting it for you, which I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure everybody has tight upper abs, then I would venture downwards towards the middle abs. It's not that difficult, just explore, scan. But try to sink into it. Exhale as you sink deeper, and then inhale. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Both sides. Now we're going to hit the psoas, which is the belly button. Same thing. Stretch the saran suit. Go deep as you can. Breathe into the trigger point. Push the belly into the ground. As you exhale, sink in. All right, other side. And again, pause the video. 3 to 5 minutes each side. 5 to 10 minutes total for each side of the abdominals. I'm on the right side. It seems to be worse for me. Stretch the suit. Breathe into the ball. Go as deep as you can. Sink into it. The pain should be dull. It should be achy. It should be tender. Go through the pain. Be with the pain. Be okay with feeling that pain. And sit with that pain for a little bit. Be comfortable in that discomfort. It's actually very relaxing the more you do it. All right. And again, you can explore the middle abs, the intestinal area, and just play with that one. But you get the idea. Now let's go ahead and hit the pecs. The pecs are going to be 5 to 10 minutes each side. We have the pec minor. So it's going to be upper pec here. We can use a barbell, kettlebell. I'm going to show you with the kettlebell because I think that's the best. You can also use a softball, so I'll do both. And then you're going to use the softball for the rest of the pec. The pec major, right around here, anywhere it's tight. And then the clavicular head, collarbone. All right, so let's get started. You can guasa first, which would look like this. Going from the sternum outwards. And just play with that. I like to guasa first because it seems to really loosen up a lot of that skin tension that's stuck in our pecs. So start with that with some oil. I'm not doing it with oil. That's why it's getting really red. And spend at least 1 to 2 minutes each side with guasa. You can also use Theragun, but I think the guasa is best. I'm going to get a kettlebell. Now I'm doing the kettlebell because it really allows me to sink in deep. You can also use a barbell, but the pec minor is right there. Super deep fascia. I'm just going to sink in. You can come up into a plank if you want, but just relax here. This is the best way to release your pec minor, no doubt. 3 to 5 minutes each side for sure. Actually, my bad. 5 to 10 minutes each side for sure. Because the pec minor, you can spend a whole 5 to 10 minutes for sure. But again, softball. We're going to hit the rest of the pec. And if you're on the go, you're traveling, just bring a softball with you. That'll be perfectly fine. All right, let's say we did this for 3 to 5 minutes. Or 5 to 10. Let's do the other side. But let me show you the softball real quick. It seems kind of like you can't hit much, right? Especially if you got a lot of fat here. You got to get it out of the way. Or if you have boobs in the way. Simply just try to find different angles. Put on a book. Elevate the cervix, whatever. Reach the arm out. Start stretching the suit. Stretch the saran wrap, pull the slack out of the fascia, reach, and then just press into it. You can even get into a plank. I like to kind of turn away from it, but press in deep to that pec minor. Go on the upper head if you want, and then you can start exploring on the middle pec, maybe down. Oof, right down there is pretty bad for me. At the bottom, on the outside of the nipple, and then anywhere else necessary. Again, scan, explore, 5 to 10 minutes each side. You get the idea. Now we're going to hit the neck, the jaw, and the face. For the neck, I prefer to use the guasa oil. Go down. Go on the side, from the ear, the sternocleidomastoid, the scalenes. You can even do the throat a little bit, the tongue, which is under here, under the chin. Use oil. Definitely use oil. Spend at least 3 to 5 minutes with the guasa alone. The neck is really tight, I'm telling you. Take your time. 1/3 of the lymph nodes are neck up. Spend some time. It's the only way the head drains. Once you do the neck for about 3 to 5 minutes, then you can do the jaw. The jaw, by the way, the neck, you can also take a softball and kind of massage it like that. I think the gua sha is the best. Do both if you want. Or your hands, right? Oil. Just don't choke yourself, right? Jaw. With the jaw, you can guasa it, or you can lay down kind of open the jaw a little bit, close it, and just kind of rest there, but go deep. 3 to 5 minutes each side. Spend more time on the neck, but the jaw sometimes needs a lot more attention, so it really just depends, but it's up to you. Definitely don't ignore either, though. All right, both sides. Let's say we did both sides. Pause the video, 3 to 5 minutes each side. And then we got the face. The face, I don't have a jade stone here, but basically you would just put oil on your face. You can also massage like this, kind of drain the sinuses that way. You can do massages like this with your hands. There's a lot of facial, homemade facial videos. This one's a good one, but also a jade stone is one of your best bets with oil. Definitely use a lot of oil. Again, 3 minutes for like the whole face should be fine. You can do that your nightly routine before you go to bed or in the morning to refresh your face. And then finally, we're going to do a lunge corrective. We're going to play with it as well. I'm going to give you some ideas. All right, so we just finished off with our trigger point routine for day 1, the anterior portion, front side. Now we're going to finish off with a nice lunge corrective and play. Hopefully you can get through this fairly quickly. Every time you finish day 1, you will finish with this corrective exercise, which is going to take roughly 30 to 120 seconds each set, and you're going to do roughly 3 to 5 sets. Plus, you can do longer time, you can do longer amounts of sets, you can eventually add some weight if you're more advanced. You can also support yourself if you are a beginner or a noob. So it's very important to support yourself when you're just starting out, because you want to start understanding how to apply the correct tension. And a lot of people are just going to feel this in their knees initially, and we don't want that, because I'm going to show you real quick how to do this properly. So again, you can support yourself with some parallettes, a stool, whatever, or you can just jump right into it if you're ready. So the first thing we're going to do is learn how to stand properly. We're going to go hip width apart, knees are facing forward, feet are straight. You don't want your knees pointing out, you want them straight, so get them pointed in the right direction. Then you're going to stand as tall as you possibly can. Raise your shoulders up nice and tall. We're trying to relieve this saran wrap, pull the slack out of all of the fascia throughout the entire bodysuit. So you got to pull your shoulders up, but relax your traps. Get nice and tall as you can. And then most importantly, I want you guys to tuck your butt. Stand over your heels. Tuck your butt, chest up. Tuck your butt, chest up. Right? Tuck your butt, chest up. Stay nice and tall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice step out. The back foot's going to lift up, and we're going to put most of our weight on our front leg, but probably more like 60-40 split on weight distribution. And then I want you guys to, most importantly, focus on getting a nice stretch in this back hip. How do we do that? We tuck the butt, right? We tuck the butt. We also lengthen and elongate that back leg. I want you guys to also pinch the ground. So pinching the ground as if I am pulling this foot back, as if I'm pulling this foot forward. So we're squeezing the ground, right? Squeeze the ground. Feel that stretch and then squeeze. You can hold this for 30 seconds to 120 seconds each side, 3 to 5 sets. Switch sides, stand nice and tall, tuck the butt, chest up, take a nice step, get a nice little stretch in the back leg by tucking your butt. If you're just arching your lower back, you're not going to get a stretch. You got to tuck the butt under to start pulling on that quadricep. And you might have to elongate that back leg, slightly come down, but pinch the ground, squeeze the ground. Again, as if your foot's going this way, as if this back foot's going this way. You're trying to collide them together by squeezing the ground, but you're not actually moving. You're just pinching the ground for stability. It's called ground tension, right? You can also alternate the arms. do some cross-body directional movements, like functional patterns. Kind of attach the X, the sling, like you're walking. But make sure you're stretching the back leg, pinching the ground. The pinch should activate the hamstring, right? That should deactivate this quad a little bit. This should allow us to stretch back here as well. So you should feel less knee pain, more hamstring engagement. If you feel it in the knees, you're not engaging your hamstring. So as you become more advanced, you can, again, start adding more weight, dumbbells, sandbag, a barbell, whatever. And then you're going to keep just taking it out even further. Again, same principle. Tuck in the butt, especially in the back leg, elongating that until you feel that stretch in that quad. Pinch the ground. Sink into it. Sink into it. Pinch, 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 pinch. All right, other side. Again, 30 to 120 seconds each side. Half a minute to 2 minutes. 3 to 5 sets. Pinching the ground, tucking the butt. I feel a massive stretch back here. You have to feel a stretch back here, guys. And then I'm not feeling my knee. I'm feeling my hamstrings engage. This is a corrective exercise because we're stretching and we're activating at the same exact time. And through the stretch, we are activating. And through the activation, we are stretching. It's this balance. You can alternate with the arms. You can hold dumbbells, kettlebell, barbell, sandbag, whatever. And then as you get more advanced, you can even go down further. And tuck the back leg, alternate the arms, pinch, 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 squeeze. So you extend more, but you also activate more as you extend. Not everyone's ready for this. We'll call this level 3. You can use weight, sandbag, etc. You get the idea. So it's that simple. We start with a nice standing posture, simple position, tuck in the butt, chest nice and tall. We're getting as tall as we possibly can. And then we just start taking a step forward. Feeling the stretch in the back leg, front portion, and then making sure we're activating the front hamstring. And we're activating this as well at the same time. You never want to just activate without the stretch. You want to stretch at the same time while you're activating. So if you don't feel a stretch, find that stretch. Either go deeper, push that hip forward more, chest up more, get tall, pinch the ground, make sure these hamstrings are activating, etc. That's pretty much it, guys. Again, you're going to do that for half a minute, 2 minutes, holds. You can do it with weight if you want. You can go deep as you want. It's all about that ground tension. That is true leg strength. That is true athletic performance. The stronger you get by being able to pinch the ground as hard as you can, and there's no limit because the ground is immovable, the more stable and strong you will feel for sure. And the less pain you will have as well. Again, 3 to 5 sets each. That's going to be on day 1 after your anterior trigger point routine. Now just go for a walk. We'll see you later, guys. Peace.